Hi everyone, Shade here with my Hack and Snipe build. This builds off of my previous Tech Sniper build and just adds hacking as opposed to just purely being a sniper. It adds great damage, some great sneak ability, if that's a word, and just overall is more to my playstyle and fun level in this game. I really enjoy it. I've gotten through most boss fights. There's a couple, especially when they take away like my ability to do what I like to do, it becomes pretty hard. But I've gone through pretty much every boss fight with this build. It's very powerful and it's a lot of fun too. So I'd like to show it to you and just give you some ideas on how to play the game. Okay, let's get into the build. So this is what it looks like at level 60. You can obviously put the points where you want, but I've concentrated on tech ability, intelligence, and cool. We'll go through some of the major stuff really quickly. So for tech, it's pretty much the same as last time. It's all the Cyberware stuff to get up to Edge Runner so that you can exceed your Cyberware capacity and also gain Fury to get some extra crit damage and general damage out there, but it also unlocks like cellular adapter, the ability to choose different stat modifiers so you can make sure you're always choosing the right stats, and just basically gives you more capacity and faster Cyberware cooldowns. As far as tech weapons go, you pretty much grab the bolt weapon and the AoE from tech weapons. I don't use my tech weapon as often as I do on my tech sniper because this is primarily a hacking build, but it does add for extra damage, especially when there are some enemy netrunners that have just crazy high RAM costs. It makes it easy to just one-shot them with a headshot. As you notice, I'm not taking shock value because I have a mod, and I'll show you which one that is. And then for our intelligence abilities, I take most of the hacking abilities plus the car hacking. Car hacking is really fun in this game. It's crazy. I suggest you use it just to play around with it because it's hilarious what you can do with it. But as you can see, I didn't take one of the capstones. I didn't take spillover because it doesn't work with what I'm trying to do. I'm primarily a stealth netrunner. I like doing it from stealth. I like not being found out. And with spillover, there's a chance that the wrong quick hack could spread and that will start a trace. And you really can't get out of the trace unless you have the takedown ability. But a lot of times there's not an enemy close enough for you to do a takeover to lose traceability. So I just don't run it. You kill stuff fast enough anyway that it doesn't really matter. And you regen your RAM pretty quickly with this build. Q mastery, on the other hand, is very much needed. You need those 4 quick hacks, and you also need the last quick hack to fill a Q, has a minus 50% RAM cost. That is very important to keeping your RAM costs low. Synapse burnout, which is the last quick hack I upload, is very costly, but with this, I've seen it go as low as 2 RAM per use, which is crazy good. Other notables on here, I do force kill Cypher just for the ease of getting quick hacks, especially once you get above 50, you start getting iconic quick hacks from the access points. So this just makes it easier to solve them and get through it, and with like all 3 of them. It just makes it easier. It's a quality of life. You don't have to have it if you don't want it. Feedback loop gives you extra RAM recovery rate, which is pretty important. And then data recycler is the bread and butter of this, where after neutralizing an enemy, you recover 80% of the RAM cost from all quick hacks remaining in their queue. And from what I can tell, it's the full cost. So if you have Synapse burnout, that costs like, I think 20 or something like that. And if you upload it and it costs 2, it's still counting the 20. So you get some extra RAM, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but this helps keep your RAM relatively high when you want it. One point I'd mention is overclock mode. I'm in it all the time. It basically turns your health pool into RAM, and it's great to just start spamming quick hacks on an enemy. And with Blood Demon, you get 40 health for each quick hack queued on an enemy when you neutralize them. So if you have like your single bar enemies, you can queue 4 up there and just basically regen most of your health. So that, in conjunction with everything else, keeps you quick hacking longer. It's pretty crazy and pretty fun. In reflexes, I only really take the the muscle memory, so I can sprint while sliding, or I can reload while sprinting, sliding, and vaulting. That's all I really take. This is a pretty stuffed build, so my reflexes have taken a hit, but I have sneak sprint, so that kind of covers me moving fast. And I don't tend to dodge because I tend to sneak through everything, and most things don't detect me. And then for body, I just have painkiller, so if I do get into combat, my regen will work. And then Fury Road is just because I like to crash into things when I drive, and taking no damage is awesome. As far as gear goes, the most important stuff is just getting like the Netrunner gear, because your head it takes longer for enemies to upload quick hacks onto you. The BD Reese and some of the visors have quick hack upload time reduction, so you upload quick hacks a lot faster. And then the net running suits give you some quick hack damage resistance when enemy quick hackers are just quick hacking you. I'm saying quick hack a lot. And then I'm wearing a ballistic vest just for the extra armor in case I am attacked. Now, something that's different from this sniper build and my other one is the fact that I was able to loot a tier 5++ Nekomata regular sniper that had an open mod slot. So I said breakthrough was great, and it is because it's available early, and you can use it throughout until you get access to a Nekomata tier 5++ with an open mod slot. The mod that you want is the Wall Puncher, and that is one that you can create using the Cerberus memory core. You craft it in your crafting. It's right here. It just takes the Cerberus, not Cerberus, the active Chimera core. That is from the Chimera boss in Phantom Liberty. It allows you to create one of these mods, either a melee or each weapon. So power, smart, and tech have their own mod. This is the tech one, the Wall Puncher. It allows you to charge a weapon to 200% capacity without increasing the charge time. Gives it 100% armor penetration, and there's no penalty for penetrating cover. And all these mods can be taken out, so if you find a better weapon or something, because mods in this game can't be swapped out when you put them in, only these mods can, you can take it out and put it in a different Nekomata if you want to. It's the one I used. It does some ridiculous damage, higher than the breakthrough, so it's something that I completely suggest you use. And now into Cyberware. There's not a lot that's changed from my tech sniper, but we do go more into the frontal cortex. The big ones here, all the iconics can be gotten in Phantom Liberty. So if you don't have Phantom Liberty, just get their regular counterparts. They're not as powerful, but they're still pretty good. The Cybersomatic Optimizer basically allows your quick hacks to crit, and you have a 100% chance to crit with quick hacks. So basically your quick hacks are always critting. It does at tier 5 when you can get it. Initially it's -8 max RAM, but if you upgrade it twice to tier 5++, it's -4 max RAM, which is why I also have X disc. This just erases that penalty essentially and gives you a little bit extra RAM and some pretty crazy upload speed. So I suggest you get that as well. And then I have the RAM reallocator. This is the iconic version, and basically this recovers 30% max RAM when your RAM falls below 20%. The cooldown on it is 75%, but if you have max intelligence, that cooldown is reduced to 15 seconds, which is insane. So get these 3 items. They're pretty good. Memory boost works early when you're trying to go on. I didn't use the regular version of the quick hack critting. I just used the memory boost just for the extra RAM and extra RAM recovery, and just wiped out things until I got the Phantom Liberty. Also in Phantom Liberty is the ability to add quick hacks to monowire. It's through your Relic Tree, and this one I just put the iconic cripple movement. Like I said earlier, you can actually, through access points, get iconic quick hacks. You can also buy them from the Netrunner kid in the stadium in Phantom Liberty. He sometimes sells them, but I've been finding him whenever you get a full access point and you only get like 200 eddies. That means you've gotten a iconic. It's happened every time, so I may be wrong about it, but it was a pattern that I noticed. So you can get the iconic version of this, and basically when you use a strong attack, this puts the iconic on there, and then if you take another relic point, every time you hit that enemy, it'll spread to enemies near it. So you can put whichever one you want on there. I felt cripple movement was good. In all actuality, I don't use my monowire very much, but if I have the chance, I'll use it, and I've got that quick hack on it to make things better. Some of the other ones for net running are the RAM Recoup. This basically gives you max RAM and also restores RAM. It's just really great. If you get hit, you get RAM every time you get hit, essentially. So it's really strong. As far as my cyber deck, I am running the Rippler, and I love it, except for the tier 5 skill. It really, really is annoying because, as I said earlier, I'm a stealth quick hacker, so I'm a stealth netrunner, and whenever I activate overclock, if anything's within me, they get hit with reboot optics and weapon glitch and starts the trace programs. So it's kind of annoying, but if you activate it far enough away, this is great because essentially the tier 3 part, where it's 40% damage with combat quick hacks when immediately followed by a non-combat quick hack in the queue, adds a ton of damage. And it basically, that's why short circuit hits so hard, because we follow up with a reboot optics in the queue and just amplifies that damage a lot. I want to run through my quick hacks real quick. Like I said, I primarily use 4, but your pings and your suicides and weapon glitches and some other ones do have their uses. I also want to mention the fact again that you can find iconic after level 50 doing access points. If you do the third, the last one, which gives you quick hacks, you can find a lot of iconics. As you can see on my screen, I've gotten a ton of them. It's also how I got a lot of gold, because they sell for a lot. Once you get a certain amount, you don't need any more. But I wanted to go over, I use Sonic Shock, Short Circuit, Reboot Optics, and Synapse Burnout. Before you get the iconic version of Sonic Shock, you can use the tier 4 version, which is a pretty cheap one, but the important ones are the fact that it cloaks the enemies from their allies, causing them to be ignored. So you hit them with that first, and then anything you do against them, it doesn't start a trace, it doesn't do anything, and they tend to not react until a little bit later, so you have a little bit of time to kind of sneak around or even upload quick hacks on their buddies. But the iconic version is actually better because it's only 2 RAM instead of 5, which kind of helps for your RAM usage to use it. So if you find that, slot it. If not, the tier 4 version is going to be enough, because you just need that cloak and you want to keep your RAM costs relatively low. I use the iconic version of Short Circuit. It just does the most damage. And it's my main damage dealer outside of Synapse Burnout. It's usually what finishes off enemies first, and Synapse Burnout is used mostly for the RAM allocation afterwards, but Synapse does last down on bosses. Following Short Circuit, we run Reboot Optics, because using the Rippler, that gives an extra 40% damage to Short Circuit if there is a control or covert following it in the queue. And we just use the lowest version possible. I just have a green because it's 2 RAM, it's super cheap, and it's only meant to augment Short Circuit. And then we have Synapse Burnout, which is a huge damage dealer. It does a ton of damage for each RAM unit currently spent, which means it does even more damage when you're in overclock mode, because you just start using health instead of RAM. So you can do up to 400% damage. It gets kind of crazy. I've seen some really high crits, but that is the main damage dealer that you use for bosses when it goes through the full queue. And finally, I think I'm going to end on my Relic Tree, because I didn't talk about it in any of my other build videos, and I figured I'd talk about it now. So this is my Relic Tree. I haven't found a couple of relic points, but essentially the first points I put into, I love optical camo, so I do an emergency cloaking, and this basically allows you to exit combat, which is very nice. When you accidentally get popped out of stealth or something, you can exit combat using that. It's very useful. Vulnerability analytics is great with like a sniper rifle or any kind of weapon because they give you extra weak points that can hit for bursts of damage. It has 100% crit chance, more penetration, and you get all your weak spot damage bonuses. So if you have any of that on your cyberware, it'll give you extra weak spot damage. And it also does an EMP blast within 3 meters, so it does a little bit of extra damage. Jailbreak is basically the upgrades for any of your ARM cyberware, so the Mantis Blades, the Gorilla Arms, projectile launch system, and monowire. For the monowire, like I said, it adds the ability to upload quick hacks, so you can upload the installed quick hack by just holding the strong attack. It'll kind of glitch a little bit and allow you to upload it. The extra stuff on this, when an enemy is affected by a monowire uploaded quick hack, normal monowire attacks allow it to spread the quick hack onto them. So those are the relic points I use. The rest of them I'm just kind of filling out, even though the projectile launch system I think is kind of cool. It basically launches into, you launch 5, and this just adds another charge so you can do more. It's pretty crazy. So there you go. That's the build essentially. As I said, I am a Netrunner first and a Sniper second, so I do mostly uploading quick hacks, and as I said before, the order of quick hacks is Sonic Shock, Short Circuit, Reboot Optics, and Synapse Burnout. That does a ton of damage because of all the passives that we have through the intelligence trees. I'll link my build below so you can just kind of go there and just follow along. The first thing I did was I maxed out both tech and intelligence at the same time because I wanted to be able to open doors. So I went to 9 intelligence, then 9 tech, 15 intelligence, 15 tech, then 20. It allowed me to open more doors because as you gain levels, the doors become harder and harder to open, and sometimes you can quick hack them open, but sometimes you can't. So I just like to do that. Plus it also gives you extra engineering experience for the perks. But thanks for watching. I do have a Twitch. I Twitch most of the time. I've been doing a lot of Phantom Liberty. I'm part of the Support Streamer program, so if you want to catch me on Twitch, you can. Feel free to ask me any questions. Happy to answer. Sometimes I'm really tired after work, so if I don't answer, I apologize. A lot of times I just do this to veg out, and I don't realize people are talking because I'm either engrossed in the game or really tired. But I do have a Twitch. It's linked on the screen, and that's about it. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.